morning, internet. It is a beautiful Sunday morning and I am back to YouTube after 10 long days of break in Spiti with a refreshed soul, a calmer mind and a better looking haircut. This time around, I did not make any video content around this journey because I really needed to take this break. I really needed a digital break. I was creating content left, right and center, and to a certain extent that it became a little overwhelming for me, but this break was such a soul recharger. Made so many memories, so many friends, and this time around I took my Himalayan, and last time in 2022 when I went to Spiti I took my Interceptor, which did okay, but Himalayan outperforms everything. This is an all-purpose bike and you can't help but fall in love with it. It is just so much more capable. Let me quickly show you the bike, how it looks, and it doesn't matter which one do you have. This is the condition of your bike after you come back from a trip. Check this out. Ta-da! So all of this is just dirt and it can come off with a little wash. You don't have to just take a cloth and rub this because that will put a scratch on it. However, if you do want to go for a pressure wash, you can do that. Just avoid this area, I would say. Rest everything you can with ease. Now, a couple of things I did install on this and that made the journey that much more amazing. Number one, yes, I did go for OEM tires, which are really amazing. These are Seat tires, 140, 90, 17 and 21. They are really good. The set of these tires will cost you 5,500. Yes, it is that cheap. And these perform really well. They'll last you about 17 to 18,000 kilometers, no matter where you ride them. The only downside to them is that they're really heavy. The rear tire itself weighs about 9 kilos. The front one weighs around 5.5 kilos or something like that. So that's that. This time around, I did not carry any tubes with me because I had these cross-spoke tubeless wheels with me. However, if you don't have these, you don't need to think that you can't tour. You most definitely can. Regular spoke wheels are far more superior than this one. The only downside is in case of a puncture, you have to stop and change the tubes. So if you wish to do that, carry spare set of tubes with you and you're good to go. However, you will need to learn how to take the tires off, break the bead and put on new tubes in them. Do carry a tire inflator also. In case you encounter a puncture, you will need to inflate it and you have to carry a puncture kit also in that case. A friend of mine did carry a puncture kit because he did get a flat on his KTM ADV 390, but that's part of the journey. It's okay. It doesn't have to be bad. You don't have to feel bad that my tires got punctured. Just fix it, just get it repaired. Even if you don't have a puncture kit with you, there are plenty of people that you can find around who can help you out and make you go on your trip, make you continue on your trip. So that's what it is. It's just the journey of making memories. Apart from that, the performance thing that I had installed on this was a BMC air filter, which I still don't need to clean it because it's only been, what, 4,000 kilometers since I've installed this. This journey was about 2,000 kilometers, so I need not clean it right away after 4,000 kilometers. I'll just wait 3,000 more to take it out and check its condition and then clean it. I'll make a video on that separately. And yes, I have this rally seat on. A lot of people were asking me how the rally seat is. The rally seat is pretty good. As you can see, it does not have that dip in it as opposed to the touring seat or the stock seat, which is a pretty good thing because it does not make you shift forward towards the tank every time you brake and put your family jewels in peril. So yes, it's a very good seat. The downside is it increases the seat height by 860 millimeters, and you just have to get used to it because it is really hard compound. So, but on the plus point, if you have luggage mounted here, which means half of your seat and then half of this, you still have a lot of room to go back and forth should you need to adjust your position while you are on a ride. So that is a very good point and a very good thing in my opinion. I did have pannier stays in it, but I don't have panniers. I do prefer using soft luggage because in case of a fall, your hard panniers will not get damaged. And speaking of fall, I did install a couple of things to make the ride that much more safer. That is Auto Engina's foldable brake lever, which is pretty good and sweet. I will put an installation video on YouTube very soon, but this is very good. In case of a fall, you need not worry about your levers getting squashed. The grip is phenomenal. The quality is just perfect. Also, if you go on the other side, you also see Auto Engina's adjustable gear shifter. You can adjust this to your foot size also, meaning this little part can go back and forth. There is just a Torx screw right behind here. 2 hex screws, not Torx screws, my mistake. You can do that, and this makes the shift that much more sweeter. It is fantastic. Highly recommend this. It is really good. Now, if you pay close attention to it, every 500 to 600 kilometers, you should lube your chain. And I do recommend you take a small can of chain cleaner, chain lube, and chain brush. In case you don't have that, just take the cleaner and a lube. And fun fact, you can borrow gear oil from any mechanic. Just put some gear oil on the chain and it will stick. However, the downside is it attracts a lot of dust. But gear oil is far more superior. If you do use gear oil, you'll need to lube your chain once every 600 kilometers. That's what my rough estimate is, and it works phenomenally well. Don't be worried, don't be alarmed that your bike gets so dirty. This is all dirt. Your bike is and will get exposed to all the elements. This is fine, it will come after one quick wash. Don't worry about that. Then, I did use the touring windshield on it. This is very good. However, because of my height, I am 6'2", 190 centimeters. This blocks winds up until my neck, meaning I do get a lot of wind noise. Wind noise in highways, straight highways, because you will be doing 100, 110, maximum 110 you will do. But still, even after you cross 90 kilometers per hour, the wind noise is so much, regardless of the helmet that you're using, it's deafening to an extent. I do recommend using earplugs on your tours. It is very important you save your ears from tinnitus. Please keep in mind. I did use 3M foam earplugs. They block out so much noise that it's amazing. You are able to hear your friends, your comrades on comms. Comrades, look at me using big fancy words. You are able to hear your friends on comms. You're able to hear music if you want to. If you're feeling drowsy, just put on some music and just ride. But once you hit the mountains, the roads are a little twisty. You won't be doing high speeds. You'll just be, what, 60, 70? That's pretty much okay. So up until you reach mountains, you definitely need earplugs. That's my recommendation. I highly recommend it. So back to it. Now, apart from the chain lube kit, you should also carry spare brake pads, front and rear, because you'd never know when you would need them. I did use extensive front brakes, and if you can see, I have used quite a lot of them. Still, you must carry spares with you at all times. These are very light, and OEM ones will cost you about 3,700 rupees or something. They are completely worth it, front and rear. I highly recommend taking spares. Do carry a spare clutch cable also, because in case you're not using a clutch sleeve like I am, this is what a clutch sleeve looks like. It just protects your clutch cable from all the elements of all the constant dust in it, so that your clutch cable does not snap in the middle of the ride. This is very important. It costs only 125 rupees, and I have made a video on this, which I will leave a link to that right here. Do check it out. Also, the number one thing that you should also carry with you is right underneath your seat, you would see your toolkit. In your toolkit, I recommend putting a lot of, there you go, zip ties. You never know when you would need them. These are highly versatile object. This is a highly versatile object. It can be used anywhere that you can possibly imagine. Comes in very handy. It is very light and you can just shove it anywhere you want. So highly recommend this. Zip ties. Just carry a bunch of these like I did and you're good to go. Okay, let's just put the seat back on with one hand. That's okay. Okay, apart from that, I do recommend using OEM handguards, your lever guards. These are really strong in terms of absorbing any impact. Look at this. I had a fall last year in Ladakh, in Gurgaon only, when I was coming back from Ladakh. And all I did was this small scratch. Highly recommend getting these. They are very, very strong. But if you're getting Mana Black, this comes pre-installed, just in black color. And yes, exhaust. I am using PowerEdge exhausts with a decat system. These are really, really amazing. Now, you do not have to worry about this making a lot of noise to attract cops in other states. It didn't do anything for me. So cops were fine. Just remember, when you are suspecting that you're going to be nearing some police guy or some checkpost, just pull in the clutch and the sound just goes off. This is pretty good. I always use it with DB killers. This is the way to use it. It just doesn't make a lot of noise. It is very close to the stock sound. Looks pretty good, sounds pretty good, is pretty good. Highly recommend using it with DB killers. This is PowerEdge. I also have a discount code which I'll mention in the description. You can use that to get a 5% off at the time of checkout at poweredge.com. Okay. Next up, a lot of people were asking me to give a review on this little bad boy right here, Fuel X Pro Plus. I did use this on my trip to Spiti this year, but I was only using it at settings 4. I did not go to the third setting, which is stock, and first and second are the leanest. They're not that rich. Even with the setting 4, the bike performed fantastic. Guess what? This thing is pretty accurate and it gave me a mileage of 32 kilometers per liter. And this thing has a phenomenal range, 17 liters of fuel tank. Even with the Fuel X Pro Plus set to setting 4, it gives me 376 kilometers on a full tank. And it has 74 more kilometers to go. Can you imagine? 400 kilometers on a full tank. This thing is a beast. So this is optional. If you want, you can go for it. What this does is it just removes the low end jerkiness from the Himalayan. Because if you set it to level 5 or level 4, it just puts a little bit of extra fuel so that you feel a little more kick when you are accelerating and the bike feels very smooth. If you put this on level 10, this thing becomes a rocket. And yes, as a result, it will eat a lot of fuel. So I don't recommend you putting it to level 10 and then using it. You can do it for a short while, but not all the time. Level 4 is good enough and that's about it. Rest everything on this bike is stock. I'm just using a Kriega tank bag of 5 liters, which is right there. Highly utilitarian. I will also show you the kind of luggage setup that I had for this trip as I did with the Ladakh journey. I had 2 saddlebags. I had 2 dirt sack of 20 liters. This time around, I packed very light because I did not have any tech with me, as I was hell-bent on not recording any content and deliberately giving myself a digital break, which is very much needed. And also using this new and improved side stand, which does not make your bike lean that much, was indeed a blessing. It just feels so much more easier to unmount and mount the bike in a lot of places. Take the bike off of its center stand also, it feels like very, very easy. A lot of people say that this is a marketing strategy by Royal Enfield. First make a bad product and then sell the refined product. I don't think that's true, and I'm not trying to side with Royal Enfield, but this is a general practice by every automobile manufacturer in the world. You first make a product that is amazing, then you get customer feedbacks as to what can be improved, and then you release the improved and updated version, which is thanks to the customers. So I don't think the company's at fault here. So it's just a lot of R&D, a lot of constant R&D just to improve again and again. Hey, think of it like this. Even Iron Man improved his suit after every movie just to learn from his mistakes and be better in the upcoming battles or whatever. So keep that in mind. Rest up, I'll just take this bike quickly for washing, and that's about it. Okay, feels good to be back to reality with a calmer mind, with a fresh mind to make a lot of content. If you think in this video I missed out on some things that you might have asked in the past, feel free to let me know in the comments. I will reply to each and every one of you. And in the meantime, I'll just give this bike for washing. Thank you so much for watching this. And if you are a new viewer, do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notifications icon so that you do not miss out on any fresh content that I put. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for asking me questions. I will bring back Q&As also because I was taking a break from that as well and focusing on personal health, trying to get back on my 2 feet quite literally after the ACL surgery. The leg is pretty much okay. I just need to do a little bit more to be back to a 100%. And yes, I'll be putting out a lot of content for you guys. Thank you so much. This is Shri. See you soon.